Jefferson City Planning and Zoning Commission. My name is Ralph Robinette. I am the chairman of the commission and will be chairing the meeting. At this time, we will have introductions, starting with our council liaison, Rick.
Rick Mihalovich, council liaison.
Mike Lester.
Jack Deacon.
Bob George.
Chris Yarnell.
Bunny Tricky Cotton.
Eric Barron.
Janice McMillan.
Okay, at this time, the quorum is present. The city code authorizes 9 regular members and 3 alternates. Alternates are designated to vote upon the absence of regular members. Therefore, Bunny, you can vote tonight. A quorum of 5 is required, or alternates. Those absent tonight are Dean DeToy, Chris Jordan, David Nunn, and Dale Vaughn. Procedure matters and procedures explained.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to briefly describe the procedures of the Planning Commission. The proceedings of the meeting are being recorded, so I ask that when you speak, please step to the microphone and give your name and address for the record. After a brief introduction by city staff, the applicant will explain the project, and the opening presentation by the applicant shall be limited to 10 minutes. We will then ask to hear from supporters of the request. We will then ask to hear from any opponents of the request, and then ask to hear from anyone else who wishes to speak on the request. The testimony from supporters, opponents, or other interested parties shall be limited to 3 minutes, and rebuttal testimony limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the Commission. City staff will then describe the proposal and make the recommendation on the request. In order to reduce the time necessary to hear an application, reference to printed material, including the staff reports, applicable findings, ordinances, and/or statutes, shall not be read into the record unless directed by the Commission. And the staff reports and recommendations on any matter before the Commission shall be presented to the Commission before the Commission acts on the matter. And the Planning Commission will then close testimony from the floor. Prior to motion or discussion on the case, the Commission will then discuss the proposal, then publicly make its determination with reasons. And the form of the motion shall be positive. That is, the motion shall be made to accept the request as presented or with any modifications, stipulations, or conditions. And a final vote will then be taken, ayes in favor, nays opposed. And the chairman shall announce the results of the vote, specifying the number of votes cast in favor and the number of votes cast against. And the following documents are entered as exhibits for all items under consideration at this meeting: the city code as amended, the comprehensive plan and land use map, copies of applications under consideration, a list of property owners to whom notices were sent, the affidavit of publication of the public notice in the newspaper, copies of drawings, plans, and/or renderings under consideration, letters or memoranda from staff, the staff reports, minutes of proceedings, letters, photos, memoranda, or other materials submitted by the public or the applicant, and the rules of procedure for the Jefferson City, Missouri Planning and Zoning Commission. And these items are public record and are available for inspection at the Department of Planning and Protective Services or through the Office of the City Clerk. And please be advised that any items presented, distributed, circulated, or otherwise received pertaining to the cases under consideration become the property of the Planning Commission. This includes any photographs, drawings, renderings, petitions, and letters.
Thank you. On the agenda tonight, we have one case. That's case number P12007-2304 Lorenza Green Drive amend final PDU plan. Is there someone here to represent? Okay, well, we will get to you then. Okay, do you wish to go forward tonight? Okay. Therefore, we have no request for continuance. You have the agenda before you, the tentative agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as you have it. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The agenda is adopted. You also have in your packet the regular minutes of the May 10th, 2012 meeting. I will give you a couple minutes to look at those to see if there's any corrections to those. Looking for a motion for the minutes. All in favor of approving the minutes as you have them indicate by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The minutes are approved. I do not believe we have any communications tonight. New business, public hearing, case number P12007-2304 Lorenzo Green Drive, amended final PUD plan. Staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, to orient you to the location of this request, up on the screen is a map of the area, which also shows the zoning of the area. Apparently my mouse is not working today, but in the center of the screen you'll see the property highlighted with the hatch marks. It's located on Lorenzo Green Drive, about a quarter of a mile north of the Route B intersection between Lorenzo Green and Route B. This is a blow-up air photo of the property. Let me back up, apologize. The property is zoned PUD, and it's currently Price's Lawn and Garden Center is on the property, and it's currently governed by a PUD plan that was approved in October 2002, which approved the use of the property for a lawn and garden center, and only a lawn and garden center. So that's the only use that's permitted on the property through the PUD plan. The request is a amendment to that PUD plan in order to expand the uses that are allowed on the property. Basically, what the property owner wants to do is take the lawn and garden center and building and split it in half, and keep the lawn and garden center on half of the building and lease out the other half of the building to a separate tenant, and that tenant would be a hair salon business. In order to accommodate this, the property owners filed this PUD amendment that would expand the uses to include the previous use, or the current use, of the lawn and garden center, but also all of the permitted uses of the C1 neighborhood commercial zoning district. So it's kind of like establishing an underlying zoning district of C1, but also allowing the current lawn and garden center to exist as well. And that would accommodate the proposed hair salon tenant in the other half of the building. Here is an aerial photo of the property. I think the property lines are a little bit off. As you can see, the yellow line goes through the building. That happens occasionally with the assessor's database. But that's an air photo of the property. You can see that there is some outdoor storage that's used on the site, and that would continue to be allowed. And here's an area, or a photo of the front of the building. Now, the plan is essentially to take the building, divide it roughly in half with a wall through the middle, and keep the lawn and garden center on the right-hand side, including the outdoor storage of materials, and then on the left-hand side of the building, put in the separate unit for a hair salon. Just a few notes customary to PUD review. The parking on the property, there is a paved parking lot and also some gravel overflow parking, but the paved parking lot does contain enough spaces to meet the parking requirement for the new use, the dual use of a lawn and garden center and hair salon. There are no exterior building modifications proposed, and signage and lighting is recommended to conform, or be required to conform to the C1 zoning district requirements, which is in line with the proposed underlying zoning of C1, essentially. That's, I think, all I have. I'd be happy to answer any initial questions, if there are any.
Any questions of Eric? I guess I have one, Eric. Under the final PUD plan here, it does not indicate the beauty salon is going to be there. You're just going to go to straight C1. So if you go to C1, what other uses could be permitted on that property?
There are a variety of uses that would be allowed. General retail type uses, any personal service type uses. We generally like to establish an underlying zoning district for a PUD zoned piece of property, because it's very difficult to imagine what may be what the property owner may desire to locate there in the future. But as long as it's controlled through an appropriate zoning district, it's a lot easier to allow the flexibility so that the property owner can locate various types of businesses there, but still keep a control so that the neighbors know what is allowed and that it's not going to be inappropriate for the area. Lorenzo Green Drive has a number of commercial businesses located on it. Immediately to the south is a restaurant, and a C1 zoning district just seems to be an appropriate list of allowed uses for that particular property. No, the restaurant is also PUD and is governed by a PUD plan of its own. So. Huh? Yes. And that, I believe that property was, specifically approved for restaurant and storage uses. So if something were to occur there, I think that we would be in front of this body. If they wanted to propose something different, I'm pretty sure we'd be in front of this body with a very similar request.
Any other questions of staff at this time? I think our counselor came in. Would you like to introduce yourself, counselor?
Sure. Drew Hilpert, City Councilor. I'm sorry I was a little bit late.
It's okay. We know you're a very busy young man. Okay, who is here to present this case this evening? If you would come forward and give your name and address.
Heather Tanner, 1179 Choctaw Ridge in Holt Summit. I'm here as one of the representatives of the proposed salon, and so basically what we're wanting to do is take the building, as he mentioned, and just take half of it for our use as a hair salon and spa type environment. And basically everything that needs to be done to it is interior structural changes, putting up walls, and just basic lighting and different things that we've worked with electrician and a plumber on establishing whether they could be done or not.
Any questions of Heather? Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other proponents here to speak on this case? Any opponents? Seeing none, we will close the public testimony. Staff report.
Staff does recommend approval of the request. The recommended form of motion, which is on the back page of the staff report, is in two parts, or is one part. I apologize. One part. Motion for approval of the proposed final PUD plan amendment with the following conditions. Number 1, permitted uses of the property shall be limited to greenhouse, plant nursery, outdoor storage, and sales of landscaping material, and all permitted uses of the C1 neighborhood commercial zoning district. And 2, signage and outdoor lighting shall be in accordance with requirements for properties zoned C1.
Any questions of staff? You understand the signage ordinance on that, or have you met with staff if you want to put up a sign? You're okay with that? Okay. Any other questions? Chair will entertain a motion, two-part motion. Who wants to try that? I think Eric said we could do it.
I think
we could do it in one.
Yeah, it's all one. I apologize. It's one with two conditions.
That's okay with the commissioners. Let's go. Discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, nay. It's unanimous. It is passed. Miscellaneous reports.
We don't have any miscellaneous reports this month, but in future months we should have an update from our representative from the Environmental Quality Commission, Mr. Lester.
Other business. Election of officers. Do you want to elect officers tonight, or do you want to wait till we have a larger quorum, or what is your pleasure, commissioners? It's your meeting.
This, just a quick, as discussed, this item goes in front of the city council still and requires their approval. The hearing date on that is July 16th. And he'll get a letter in the mail. So.
Mr. Commissioner, I think now would be a good time to, we could elect some new people since they're not here, but maybe we ought to wait a month and see who all wants to show up and might not want to be elected.
What's the other commissioners' opinions?
I am comfortable with the way the officers are now. I would make a motion if the other commissioners are happy with Ralph as chairman and Jordan as vice chairman.
I,
No one's argued yes.
I would second that. My only thought was if Commissioner Robinette wanted to move, that was my only thought, if he chose to. But if he's happy, I think we all are.
Well, I'm very happy, and it's my pleasure to serve. If you
Well,
gentlemen
then-
and ladies are happy with me, I'll continue to do it.
Should we just make a motion then to?
I think we've had a motion second. Discussion. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you very much, and I'll look forward to continue to serve you the best I can. Anything else?
Nope, it's a short one this month. We do have a subdivision plat, a preliminary plat, and a final plat, same subdivision, plus a pair of rezoning applications, all contained in the same area at the very end of Creek Trail Drive that we'll get to hear about next month. So, yep. At the end of Creek Trail Drive. Yep.
Is that the one off 179?
Nope. Off of Edgewood.
Yes. Oh, great. Great.
So.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. There is some zoning history there, yes.
Thanks for coming, and if we have nothing else, we're adjourned. We'll see you in July.